Hello and welcome to the All Things Geek podcast. I'm your host, Leighton, and I am joined by...
Tyler.
And...
Aiden.
And today is going to be a very packed episode. We didn't record anything last week. That was mainly due to schedules and whatnot. Mainly me being busy. So you're getting 2 episodes this week. Lucky for some. So yeah, we've got a lot to talk about in this first section stuff, especially like the news part that we always talk about. So firstly, unfortunately, we're going to talk about a dickhead first. Ezra Miller is back in the news again for another assault. I think it was a 2nd-degree assault or some shit like that. He basically threw a chair at a woman's head.
Still in Hawaii.
Yep.
So Hawaii's just being menaced by this maniac.
Which is very weird.
Or Hawaii.
I know, yeah.
Bad for everyone inhabit on that island right now. Stuck with this,
right?
So
it's like having one of the GTA protagonists on the loose.
It was. I saw a video which was quite amusing, where he's like wanted by the police on the TV, and like someone turns around and he's just there,
standing talking to some people or whatever.
Yeah, it's like weird. It's like, what the fuck. So yeah, he's been a bad boy again. Fucking just lock him up at this point. I'll get him some help. Our next story is about Fantastic Beasts, Secrets of Dumbledore. It's made the least amount of money for any Harry Potter / Fantastic Beasts movie, which I guess is a big deal for that property or whatever. It's had so many films and whatnot. But yeah, it's not doing well. Fair enough, I guess. I mean... what the buzz I get from a lot of Harry Potter fans anyway is that the Fantastic Beasts aren't really the best anyway. I haven't watched the newest one or the one before. I watched the first one. That was quite enjoyable, but they're alright, I guess. So yeah, that's not doing too well. Neither is Netflix. I don't know if you have heard about this, but Netflix is in a pretty bad...
Yeah, I have.
In a pretty bad place. So, at the time, Netflix had lost roughly about 200,000, I think it was, in users in 1 week, which is the most amount of users this service has lost, ever in its history, which is ridiculous. And it is expected to lose at least 2 million by next week. So, maybe at the end of this week, who knows. And I've also written down a little thing here. So this is mainly due to the cancellation of certain shows. The price is going up. There's talks of them adding adverts, like commercials, to movie shows. Why? And then there's also talk of them doing this thing where if you share your password to someone who doesn't live with you, they can get charged for that, which is ridiculous because they're putting the prices up. And so yeah, Netflix is in a pretty bad spot at the minute. It's like I said, it's losing users pretty rapidly, mainly due to these things, and they are putting ads on their service within the next year or so. So yeah, so Netflix is probably not going to last forever. So yeah, I don't know what you think of that. I don't know if you even use Netflix.
You know what? Netflix was the main streaming service I used back then because I had a lot of my favorite shows. When Daredevil was coming out, I was using it most frequently. Or they posted new other shows. But personally, for me, I love Disney Plus. That's been great because a lot of the original shows on there. And outside of that, there's some shows that go back and watch, or I've been wanting to watch, movies I wanted to see forever. But HBO Max, for me personally, has just a well-defined gallery of a little bit of everything that I want to watch, and there's new shows with that. So that's been my go-to. But I've recently come back to a few shows for Netflix. But I heard about this the other day. It was just blown away. I didn't know the specifics of why this was happening. So hearing it now, it's just kind of baffling, especially when sharing passwords. Because people do that all the time. I've done it with their friends and family.
Yeah, a lot of people do it. So,
and
it's kind of one of them things though, where Netflix was kind of promoting that at one point as well, which is weird for them to then like go back on it. So,
yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't really, I do have Netflix. I usually just pay for the yearly subscription because I can't be bothered like doing it's more expensive doing the monthly ones and whatnot. So I just do the same with Disney Plus. But I think there's only about 3 shows that I really watch on Netflix anyway, like Stranger Things, Sex Education, and Umbrella Academy. Those are like the only 3 that I watch. Everything else I don't really bother with. So I'm not opposed to like giving up Netflix and stuff. I really only use Disney Plus. We don't have HBO Max over here, unfortunately. Yeah, just Disney Plus for me. That's all I really use.
Yeah, I mean, this is fairly concerning for me because 3 of my favorite shows of all time are on Netflix, that being Witcher, The Dragon Prince, and Arcane. So I dread what the future of those 3 shows will be.
Yeah. God, could you imagine that every 25 minutes you get a fucking commercial for something on a subscription site?
Yeah, that would be terrible. So I hope that if Netflix tanks, which seems like is in the imminent future at this point, that hopefully those shows get picked up by other services or something.
So we'll have to see. Moving on, we have a new Star Wars game in development with Lucasfilm and Skydance Media. No information on what the game will be about, but it is apparently a cinematic action adventure with its own original story. Not surprising. And the game is being made by the creative director Amy Hanning, I think it is, who oversaw the Uncharted games. Or the first one.
Yeah, she was originally set to work on a Star Wars game with EA, but I believe that game was canceled. They even put out a teaser for it.
Oh, yeah, I think I know which one you're on about, yeah.
Yeah. So at least she's getting a second chance.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'd love 1330 to actually come out. There's many other Star Wars fans would. That'd be amazing, but
never happening.
I know, which is a shame. Some other shitty news across the multiverse or Spider-Verse, I should say. Sorry, Part 1 is now going to be delayed until next year and will release on June the 2nd, 2023. And Part 2 will release on March 29th, 2024. It's a real shame because I love the first one and I was really excited for this movie, but yeah.
Absolutely. Now we're stuck with Morbius as the only Spider-Man movie for this year.
Yeah, which is a real shame. I'm blaming Morbius for this.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it's alright. As much as I was looking forward to the movie, look, with any kind of movie delay, like especially for a project that's gonna be as massive as this, time, do what you need to do. It's gonna be well worth the wait. I believe.
That's it. You can definitely perfect it even more. Like the longer you take, it's not a rush.
Yeah,
I wasn't desperately clamoring for the movie, so I'm okay with waiting.
Well,
I mean. Dude, I don't know, that teaser, I was just like, oh my god. And I'm so excited to see Spider-Man 2099 in a full movie. It's just...
Real shame. But
it is a shame.
Yeah,
but
it is what it is. You can't help it. But, yeah. So, Season 2 of Andor, or Casting on Andor, will begin filming in November. Where's Season 1?
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, they must have some pretty strong faith.
Apparently, it could last up to like 5 seasons or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So
they definitely have faith in the show then, Jesus.
Which is mad. So that's what they said when they put the first like they put like a reel out, what they normally do for like Star Wars things, and then they talk about it.
Like a sizzle reel.
Yeah, yeah, and they were talking like how they could do like so many seasons with it or whatever. So who knows? I think it may be 5 or 3, something like that.
Supposed to release?
Do
we know when the first season is supposed to release?
Haven't a clue.
I would say probably sometime maybe this year, like later, maybe like fall. I'm gonna guess maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Because we haven't heard a peep about it. I sometimes I forget the show's even happening. What intrigues me about them saying like it could last for 5 seasons, it's like, why do you say that? You know, like I think
it was either 5 or 3. I could be wrong.
Well, even then, it's like, you know, what other shows we're getting? Dude, we haven't even gotten a confirm. I don't think we're getting a Boba Fett season 2. There's nothing that's stemmed from that, which is a shame because I liked part of that show.
I
you know,
I agree.
And,
I mean, I like most of that show, but I mean, I don't need a season 2.
Like, dude, we got like 2 episodes back to back that were just like mind-boggling. It really was. With
the rest of it wasn't exactly anything.
No,
amazing.
And that's I don't know. It's an interesting. That's an interesting topic on itself. But didn't stray off. But
So we're all over the place here. But the first trailer for Love and Thunder dropped. A well overdue trailer that a lot of fans have been waiting patiently for, and we finally got it. So
it's great.
Yeah,
it's going on a spiritual journey. It's awesome. Rocking, playing "Sweet Child of Mine." I love it. It's gonna be awesome. Really excited.
Man.
Way to bring Thor to bring it in and be like, oh man, I'm just genuinely excited for this. So
like when I was watching the trailer and stuff, the first thing I kind of noticed was the it's not really cinematography because that's a different thing, but like just like how great everything looks, and I think that's because they're using stagecraft, which the Mandalorian used, the Batman used, and it visually just looks so much better. Like, just these different worlds and stuff. Like, I don't know, it just looked really top notch and stuff. But I'm really looking forward to this film. This and Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness are like the 2 Phase 4 films I was looking forward to the most. So, and they're right around the corner. So,
it's great.
Thor is one of my favorite superheroes, but I gotta say, the most exciting part of that trailer for me was just seeing the Guardians again. That was so good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was nice to see them, minus Gamora, but
Well, we'll see more of that.
And then we get our first look at Mighty Thor, Jane as Thor. I know there's obviously been a fucking some people having a fanny fit because, you know, female empowerment and shit, all these insecure little fucks online. You know, like not understanding how she can be Thor and all this stuff when he's called Thor, and fucking just pick up a comic and have a read, Stop crying about shit. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to everything about the film. Like, it just looks really fun. It's definitely in tone with Ragnarok, which is great for me because that is one of my favourite MCU films. So more of that I'm happy with. And just the direction that they were they're going in, it's not something I think any of us were expecting Thor to go in. So yeah, I think it looks ridiculously good. We didn't get to see the villain. We haven't seen him yet. Hopefully they're saving him for the next one.
We didn't need to see him for this teaser. I'm glad that it just purely focuses on Thor, you know?
Yeah. I don't think it would have really fit the tone
of the movie.
So,
we've got a little bit of figure news before we dive into all the Hasbro.
That's fucking over-exaggeration.
Before we dive into all the Hasbro stuff.
We've got a movie to talk about. Tyler, do you want to take this one away? Because you actually like...
well, first, to start with, actually, there's 2 things before that.
Sorry, I was jumping ahead.
So Mafex revealed
Steel and
a new
Thor.
DC figure and their classic comic Thor. Thor looks interesting. I don't love Mafex's heads, but he looks like a solid import figure.
And
Comes with,
I mean, still looks, looks pretty alright.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a character I know much about.
You should watch the
besides
film.
what I've seen in. All I know is what I've seen of him in Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting looking, goofy comic design.
Mm-hmm.
And they both have hammers, so I guess that's their theme for these two reveals. Is hammer wielding red cape weirdos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Hasbro also announced that they are bringing back a action figure line called Starting Lineup, which is sports players in an action figure line. No confirmation yet if it's going to be a 6-inch scale super articulated line or not, or if it's going to be like hardly articulated statues. But if it is super articulated, we'll probably talk
if
about
if this is going to be like sports and stuff, I can't really see it being football related or anything, because with how common players like get the contracts and leave, it's quite like, do you know what I mean? Like, players aren't really at the same club for a very long time. Like, the max you're getting is like 5 years on a contract. So I mean, they could but
I don't know what the original starting line covered, but I would assume it's like baseball, and like basketball,
shit like that,
stuff like that,
and NBA and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then Hasbro owns D&D, which officially revealed the title for their Dungeons & Dragons movie coming out next year called Honor Among Thieves. And it is being... the star of the movie is Chris Pine, who described it as a mixture of fellow fantasy mainstays such as Game of Thrones, The Princess Bride, and a smidge of Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So I am certainly interested. I'm more excited for what it means if this movie does well. Hopefully more D&D figures from Hasbro, and just more love for D&D in general. That'd be great.
There's a new Transform. I mean, there's been a lot of Transformers reveals with Hasbro bringing stuff out, but we got images of the new Transformers Legends Titan class Metroplex. It looks pretty good, and the price has also been revealed, which is coming at roughly £200. That's a £70 increase since the last one. That came out, I think, last year. So, yeah.
Jeez.
They're the same height and everything, and, so it's a lot of money to ask for. But yeah, it looks like a good rendition of Metroplex. It's not like his iconic normal look, but it's definitely a version of him. So yeah, we've got a shit ton of Marvel Legends to talk about. So we have images up of the Thor figures. Now, I'm sure this is because... Is it... Go on.
Well, they did put out the official promo images.
They did.
Finally.
They did, yep.
And then our friend Braden actually was able to buy 3 of the figures in the wave.
Who isn't he?
Could not join us. He could not join us to talk about them, which is a real shame. But he got Armored Thor, Star-Lord, and Team Groot. Yeah. So maybe he'll get to talk about them next time.
I found the wave as well, but unfortunately they were street dated for me. So
that's a real shame, though.
Yeah.
That's stupid. What's the point in putting figures out if you're just not going to be able to sell them?
I don't know. They were on top of the shelf, so I'm kind of like, okay, but I saw it. I had to look. But I'm having to see them. But at the time of this recording, it's the 25th. It's supposed to be street dated until tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, I might just run over and see if they're there and if I can buy them.
You might as well. Yeah. Just get up nice and early and then just go straight there.
Yeah, I might go as like I have to go out in the morning anyway. So if I do, I will. I'll let you guys know.
See what you can find.
Yeah.
So we've got new Spider-Man reveals, which is an understatement.
Spider-Man reveals.
So, Aidan, do you want to take us through, since you know which comics these are from, which suits are what, and so on and so forth, and you can go into detail, since this is more your area, even though, so the first 2-pack, there's a lot of 2-packs, there's a lot of just standard figures, but we'll start with the 2-pack with Peter and Mary Jane first, and then make our way through.
Yes. So this 2-pack is based on the Spider-Man comic Renew Your Vows, where basically Peter and Mary Jane are both, crime-fighting web slingers. They have a daughter. I don't remember her name exactly, but she has kind of like a biker helmet, Spider-Man helmet kind of look. But Mary Jane's spider persona is Spinneret, web Spinneret. And this 2-pack is unbelievable. The Mary Jane, the Spinneret figure, is fantastic with the double jointed arms, and I like the costume with the white and red. It looks amazing. Yeah. But the Peter Parker Spider-Man figure is absolutely astounding. Not only does it has the retro body Spider-Man mold,
which is a pain in the ass to get.
It is. It is. I was lucky to have one myself. But not only is he pinless, he has toe articulation,
which is very uncommon for Marvel Legends. The only other Marvel Legends figure that I can think of that comes is Beast.
Yes,
which came out a few years ago.
It's not like a standard foot, Yeah. This is like a full-fledged standard comic foot.
Yeah. Yeah, I really want this 2-pack, personally. I don't want to put a pre-order in just yet. I might get lucky. But
I pre-ordered the other day.
Yeah.
I'm extremely happy. It's very pricey. It was $56 for it. But
I think that's the price over here as well, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite outrageous. It should be like a $40 pack, honestly, like the additional 2-pack is. Yeah. But I'm so excited, and I think it will be worth it. Another thing we should mention as we talk about these is the boxes.
Yes, the first time they've changed the boxes since 2014.
Yeah, and it's crazy, because I'm going to use the old style of Marvel Legends boxes with the windows, but also at the same time, I'm already preferring this new design, and I'm glad that the Spider-Man wave is getting that. Yeah. That's probably why it makes it more intriguing for me to want to buy these, because the boxes look great.
I kind of wish they would do something a little bit different with the photo for the front, just because there's a lot of empty space, they could really go wild with it, I guess.
I think they can do some crazy poses or something else that really buys a lot of articulation or dynamic these figures can do. We'll go into our next 2-pack, which is the Spider-Man Homecoming Ned Leeds and Peter Parker figures.
Yes,
this is great.
Which was a surprise.
Yes. Well, this was on the rumors list from before.
Was it? Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, basically all these figures that were revealed that day were on the rumors list. It was just great to see them all. But we finally have a figure form of Ned Leeds, who is a character from the MCU. I've always wanted it in figure form. So now we have the main trio of the home trilogy for Spider-Man. And both figures look great. Ned's a standout for me. Peter looks all right. He looks good. I'm going to get him. It's just his arms look a little off to me, and I like how big his hands are, and I get that they're trying to work around with that, but maybe it'll be better in person. Otherwise,
his smiling head definitely looks like a different human entirely.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to be doing some head swaps with my other Spider-Man. I actually got the Walmart exclusive re-release of the Upgrader or Bosco suit, as Tyler likes to call it.
The only appropriate name.
It's a more unique name for it. That head sculpt on there is just a touch up of the Iron Spider and Iron Man 2-pack from Infinity War with the Marvel 80 years anniversary. But yeah, this is great. Ned looks great. He comes with this the spider mask that he puts on when him and Peter are trying to find the Vulture's base or talk about the tracker. That's such a cool thing. I might just have Ned wear the the mask on my shelf, honestly. It's like another Spider-Man. But it's great. It's a nice 2-pack. It's the same price for $56 as the Renew Your Vows pack. So, yeah, great 2-pack there. I might as well knock out the other 2-pack we have, or there's 2 more. I'll mention this one real quick. We have the Amazon exclusive Doc Ock, comic Doc Ock.
Oh, yeah. Which was revealed quite a while ago, but we actually saw it, like...
we saw more about it.
In person, on the stream and stuff.
Pre-order. I think it went up for pre-order a little bit ago. But, yeah, it's fine. I already have a comic book Doc Ock, but I do like the 2 new heads. It looks like the colors are more accurate. Mine's a little bit like a tangerine orange on mine, the first one. But you have the 2 different glasses. The glasses are actually in blue instead of green.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm with mine. Now, if this Doc Ock, had the bendy wire arms, that would have been a different case. But no, it's the same one. And so, I don't care for Silk personally, but the figure looks good. The head looks good. Tyler likes the head quite a bit. So
yeah, her head sculpt looks fantastic.
So yeah, that's
and then our final 2-pack, which I'm really looking at forward
kind
to.
Of like, holy crap! This is a really holy crap one, and at first I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get this, and then they revealed the other figure, which I knew it was gonna be, and I was like, okay, I may have to get this sometime. We have the Null and Venom 2-pack, and Venom comes with these big ass giant dragon wings because it's based off the King in Black comic storyline where apparently the symbiote is supposed to resemble a dragon and not based off Spider-Man's logo, which I don't like at all. But the Venom figure uses the body from the movie Venom figure we had from a couple of years ago, and it's just a new head, which is uber detailed. It's just a comic Venom with the movie Venom body mold, and it looks stunning.
He's got
to get it.
2 new comic heads, and then obviously a modified upper torso for the wings to port in.
I'm so happy they used that buck because I've been clamoring for that for a while outside of having the animated series Venom on the Omega red body. But that is a full-fledged one. I want to get it again. Now, there may be 2 little holes in his back. I'm not really going to be concerned about that.
I mean, just like looking at both figures, I think both of them just look amazing. Like,
oh yeah, Null. Like, I don't give a damn about Null as a character, but that figure looks pretty rad.
Yes, I agree with you, Tyler. Yeah, I don't care, but he looks cool. He looks really great. The sword's awesome, and they're huge. They're very tall figures. So when they showed us the box, where it's basically the same size as the normal 2-packs they ever done, I'm like, how are the wings and 2 tall figures gonna all fit in there? So
yeah, I'd love to see what the window looks like. Would look like.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how that's. I'm sure it's gonna be similar to how they're kind of doing the Fortnite figures recently, like how they have
probably. Yeah.
I don't know.
Just top and tail, and they'll probably just be on top of each other.
Yeah, they're gonna it's just gonna be like swished together.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Never know. Doing it probably will be as well.
So I'll mention Rangus is excited. Well, I think he's excited for this figure. Going to the single pack figures, we have the I believe it was the Future Foundation Spider-Man.
I mean, it's not my Future Foundation suit that I want.
The colors were inverted, but they did something different here. They literally just took the symbiote Spider-Man head and plopped it on this one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even use the new Spider-Man body or like pinless joints at all, so you can see the pegs really annoyingly.
Yeah, it's definitely glaring with the black pin.
But they did mention that they will do the more traditional look for the suit down the line, which I'm really excited for because that is genuinely one of my favourite Spider-Man costumes. So I really want that white looking suit.
Yeah, if they do that on the retro body with pinless joints, that'll be a dope figure.
Really good. We've got
okay. Yeah,
we've got the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man.
Oh my god,
which looks really good as well.
Amazing.
That comes with a lot of accessories.
Also known as Bosco Begins Spider-Man.
Bosco Begins. I'm extremely happy for this figure. Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. It's the original Spider-Man look. I'm glad they went all the way with the black. It's so cool. I'm glad they did that. I love that original look. so badly, and to have a figure of it with a whole new mold, with open hands and everything, that was the first figure I knew I was like, I'm getting that 100%. So I pre-ordered that one as well. So it was only the two, but so excited.
He's a gorgeous looking figure for sure.
Looks great. So I'm excited, and it's good because I'll get to renew your vows where it's kind of a more older, experienced Spider-Man, and have obviously Fantasy be the starting out, but he's probably going to be one of those that like centerpiece Spider-Man figure aside from Renew Your Vows. But looks fantastic. I'm very.
Do you know I've just clicked on with these figures as well, like these new ones. Have you noticed the torsos have got like the ab crunch, and then it's got like the swivel on top now? So
yes, that
punch
was
down, like
an articulation scheme introduced in the Power Ranger line.
Oh, right, okay. Well,
and then brought into the Retro Spider-Man, which they're still not using consistently. It's very much a Stormtrooper issue.
Yeah. Moving on, though, we have the Iron Spider, which, if you watch the review of it, the colours, like the paint, just really pops. It looks so good.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the comic book Iron Spider suit whatsoever. But this figure looks astonishing. It looks great. I don't know about it, but like the colors, but with the arms and how the sculpt turned out, it doesn't, and it's pinless, I believe, correct?
Yeah, you can see in the images it is pinless. Yeah,
it just looks amazing. I really am excited for that. It's not my priority list, but it's one of those figures that if I find it on a whim and it's like maybe on sale, it's a bit more expensive than the other ones. Like Amazing Fantasy is going for I think $27.99, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if Iron Spider is going for $33.99
something like that. Yeah, which
something
is mad.
Into that. Yeah, the prices are really jacked up for figures.
I get why they juiced up a little bit for Iron Spider because he has these other arms. I never liked how he has 3 and not 4. I think that's dumb.
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
And you can only articulate not every part of the arms, but what you have, I think it's just going to be a lot of fun for posing, and he looks really fantastic.
Yeah.
And then
I'm sorry to cut you off though.
No, you're good. I was just going to say the next figure is we have the Spider-Man Noir from Spider-Verse with Spider-Ham.
Yes, we do.
Oh yeah, I forgot a picture of that.
We've also got Toad as well.
We got Toad. Toad, I'll tell you, I like Toad. I don't love the character, but the only reason I would want to get him is for the frogs and the toads. That's the only reason I would.
It's definitely different to what the Toy Biz one looked like.
Oh,
so.
definitely. He looks like I don't know. He looks like a little jester, or like.
Yeah, he does. He really does.
Yeah, a little
jester man.
Clown.
Yeah, we've got Spider Noir, which looks really good. He doesn't come with whip hands, but he does come with a pistol, so fair enough.
I did find he's actually reusing the torso and like the torso down of the What If T'Challa Star-Lord.
Is he?
Yeah.
Weird. He also comes with what's the character called? Comes with another character.
Spider-Ham?
Yes, Spider-Ham, which is just a re-release of the one
from Gwen.
Yeah, which is whatever, I guess.
Lame.
Yeah.
Could have at least made him in like a new pose or something.
And then finally, a reveal that Aiden lost his mind to was the retro-carded lizard figure.
I forgot that picture as well. Jesus, I dropped the ball, guys.
How could you forget? I'm sure we know exactly what he looks like. That figure looks ridiculously good. I'm sure it's one Aiden will definitely have on pre-order or will fight people for.
I will fight anyone for. Unfortunately, it's not for pre-order yet. That's yet to be determined. It's supposed to be a Walmart exclusive. But to say that I'm excited for the lizard figure is an understatement.
Yeah.
The Lizard's been one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. I have a classic Toy Biz Lizard figure. I also have the ugly movie version from like 2012. I've always loved the character. it's a very underrated Spider-Man villain, I feel. But I wanted to just them to come back and do a full-fledged Lizard figure for so long. I love the Bat they did a couple years. I like it. I don't love it, actually.
It's like a different take, isn't it? It's like very...
It is. The tail's weird because it actually has joints and not bendy wire. Meanwhile, this one does. And I'm so glad. I think people were complaining about the classic Ditko John Romita Senior head that he has, where he doesn't have any teeth and he kind of looks like a frog. I absolutely adore that. I'm gonna have that head on him on my shelf.
Yeah, if I had a favorite head, that would be the one. Yeah. I also love that he's got the Power Ranger articulation, so he will pose pretty well.
Because Lizard just always is like leaned over or something else. He's a reptilian man. He's a big freaking, and the tail looks so good. I am so excited for that.
He also comes with two
beakers. He's got beakers.
He's got fist hands, and he's all new sculpt too, like 100%. So
it's just so. I'm so tempted that when
it's criminal that it's an exclusive.
It is, but that's why they do it. That's why they do it, because they know everyone's like, oh my god, look at this. And I might really say, on a whim, it's, I think, 110% the best retro-carded Spider-Man figure by far. With 100% new sculpt and just executed perfectly. I am beyond excited to get my hands on this Lizard. Hopefully mostly I think by the end of this year. So, but that was the most desired Marvel Legends figure I've wanted for a long time. And it was funny, as I was talking to Buddy Thatch the night before, I was like, well, I'll just have to say it every time they do a Hasbro Marvel Legends stream is that, oh, where's the Lizard? I want to see the Lizard. And my God, I cannot believe I woke up the next day and saw that. I was racing to watch this stream, and I'm rambling, but yeah, there's the Lizard.
Yeah. So there was go on.
There was one more tidbit of information, or like one more tease at the end of the stream, which was the fabric lab coat. And our initial reactions was, oh, maybe that's for Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. On second thought, and after going over it, and I looked at some comments as well, it is too bulky, like too big for that, so it does seem like it's more likely going to be, Beast.
Oh, crap. Because they're doing the VHS boxes, that collection for them.
Yeah.
So I could see that doing, you know what, that's a good idea. I mean, look, I think that's cool. I'm getting the Wolverine from that wave, so...
Yeah.
If only for that photo frame.
That you can take the photo out of, by the way, and put your own in.
Oh, yeah? That's awesome.
So, and then finally, for our news section, Moon Knight is now in Fortnite, so if you want the character to play as in Fortnite, you can do that right now. And it does come with Mr. Knight as well.
Extremely happy about that.
So did you get
killer looking skins?
No, I didn't.
I got him. Yeah, he's great. I haven't played as him too much, just because I have preferences for my skins. But I'm happy to have him. He looks freaking fantastic.
Yeah, he looks really good. So talking about Moon Knight, we have episode 4 to talk about. It's been a while since I've watched the episode, so if one of yous go first, and I'll jump in whenever I can.
All right, I'll do a recap. So the episode picks up with Layla having to save Mark/Steven's life because he's unconscious after Khonshu leaves, and then they find Harrow's dig site. Steven makes out with Mark's wife and then punches himself in the face. They go into the catacombs and encounter very, very much so. They encounter some strange,
mummies,
like mummified creature that literally guts a man on screen. It's blurred out, but you can tell that he's ripping out intestines and organs and stuff.
It as well. Yep.
Yeah, you can hear it. It's very, very gross. So they get separated. Arthur Harrow confronts Layla after she is assaulted by the mummy man in a very, very horror-esque scene.
He's very manipulative in that scene as well.
She finds out that Mark was involved with the death of her father, though not directly responsible. She also learns that that's basically why they met to begin with. And then they find the statue of, what's her name, Amit, in the tomb of
Alexander the Great. That was
her.
That was like such
avatar.
a Uncharted moment that I got from that.
Especially that realization of who it was. Yeah, that was definitely some Nathan Drake stuff.
Yeah.
And then Arthur Harrow swoops in, talks some big talk, and then shoots Mark Spector dead. And he falls into some water and wakes up in a purgatory-esque afterlife mental hospital, where he thinks he's crazy, but then he reunites with Stephen Grant, and the two of them go on a little goose chase around the building until they run into a hippopotamus goddess.
Yes.
And that's the end.
So, like, I mean, I'll say this up front. It's my least favourite episode out of the 4 so far. Don't know how you two feel on that, but that's not for me to say that I didn't enjoy it. I did really enjoy it. I love the horror aspects because we've heard about, like, you know, all this psychological horror stuff, which fair enough is in it, but this is the episode where you really get that sort of like horror vibe from things. And whatnot, like Tyler was saying, where you hear the guy getting more or less mummified, like alive.
Gutted,
you hear the ribs getting cracked and the guts pulling out. Like that, like you use your imagination, but that's probably the most graphic the MCU's got. Especially if you're using your imagination and stuff and whatnot. I was fascinated by these like mummies. I'm sure that's what they are. I don't think they're like creatures or whatever. I genuinely do think they are just mummies now.
I think it was just the one, but yeah.
No, there was 2 from what we could see. One got crushed, and then one pulled Layla into the wall, and then she killed it.
I just assumed it was the same one who got back up. I didn't think that table was enough to crunch him completely.
Which was a very unsettling scene when she's like climbing across the wall and the hand comes out to grab it and then it just goes back in. That was I really like that. There was some manipulation going on between like Layla and that, and then the whole discovery in the episode, and then the supposed afterlife bit. But obviously it depends on, like, if you know the comics, and depends on which aspect they're taking it from. I think there is a comic run, correct me if I'm wrong, Aidan, you know more about Moon Knight than both of us, but I'm sure there is a comic run where it's all like made up, it's all just in his head, like all the adventures that Mark's been on, it's just like, you know, and that actual place is in, you know.
It's a lot of that is heavily influenced off the Jeff Lemire Moon Knight story, and surprisingly, I read that comic book right before the show aired, so there was perfect timing.
That's really weird, though.
My mind was blown by like all the references. It was just a perfect transition to live action of how they did it. So it's great. It's kind of following a beat for beat where Mark is actually meeting his other personas or part of.
And they're definitely hinting towards Jake.
Yeah,
like 1000%. With that,
yeah, we get another ominous sort of teasing towards a third personality that seems to be the most screwed up.
I'm surprised that one was standing up, by the way, and you see that it was staying on the bottom of.
Yeah.
So
it's also like covered in like red paint or like red. It's like stained red all over, but not like a consistent paint job. It's very splotchy here and there. So
yeah.
It definitely evokes the sense of being covered in blood.
And I'm curious when we do, if that is Jake, we get to meet what his costume's going to look, if he's going to dawn on the Western look or something else. We'll have to see. Probably get revealed in the final, if anything.
There are a lot of people I'm seeing theorizing that, like, oh, is anything actually real, or is he just a crazy person? Like,
that's what I mean. Like,
he's a superhero, and we know he's going to be in more stuff than this. So yes, stuff is really happening.
Well, this is the thing. We say this, but Oscar Isaac is only contracted to this one season. Like, he's not, hasn't been renewed for anything else. It's literally just this one show.
He's gonna be in more.
I mean, hopefully, but...
No, he's gonna be in more. It's the MCU, man. They're not gonna make a show about a superhero who's not actually a superhero and then never use him again.
I mean, that's true, but, I mean, it's not like it's connected to anything. Like, there's no references or, if they wanted it to be, its own one-off thing, then, yeah, I could see it being the case. I'm just saying, people who think that's gonna be how it happens or clearly have not been paying attention to the MCU for the past decade. I mean, we'll have to obviously see how it plays out and stuff, and whatever they do next. Mm-hmm. I mean, if Blade shows up, I'll be like, all right, fair enough. They're doing Marvel Sons or some shit like that. Fair enough. I'm all for that. Where's Ghost Rider? Let's get the team together. Come on, boys. Yeah, I really enjoyed the episodes. What about you, Aidan? What did you think?
Well, I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, the whole episode is just like an Indiana Jones expedition, say Uncharted.
Yeah.
But by the last 10 minutes, I was just like, oh my god, completely enthralled. All around, for me, it just gets better and better by each episode.
I did. Like I say, when I say I enjoyed it, I really did. But I'm not when I say it's my least favorite, I don't mean it was terrible in any way. The surprise at the end where we see that Egyptian goddess, I can't remember her name, but I was trying to connect the two, what's happening and why she's appearing, because that goddess is typically associated with childbirth and, stuff like that in Egyptian law. So I was kind of hoping for, if it was, a purgatory kind of thing, which at first I thought that's what it was, and still kind of is. That would probably see another god, but that wasn't the case. So, yeah, sorry to cut you off. Please do.
No, you're good. One thing I would, the hippo goddess's name, I think it's Tuaretz or
yes,
Tuaret.
that's her name. Yeah.
So it's so cool how they are really accurate with a lot of the Egyptian lore they're establishing.
It's really good. I love it. Really love how accurate it all is.
Yeah, it's been it's a great episode, and I'm so excited to see these final two. This is the point where some Disney Plus shows can get a little dodgy and how the rest of the series paves out.
Yep.
In terms of leading up to the finale and then ultimately the finale. So I hope sticks the landing, does it well. They are really kicking it with this whole show the whole way through.
Yeah.
So
I definitely think when episode 5 rolls around, we'll probably get
I gotta pause.
Yeah, I definitely think with the show and its final that's eventually coming in 2 weeks' time, it's definitely going to stick the landing. I think next episode is the first half of it is going to be spent in this purgatory sort of Mark's kind of head place, and maybe we get to meet the third personality. Who knows?
It's possible.
Yeah, and then it goes back to everything else, and then obviously leading up to the final where we're going to get a big fight and a big laser in the sky. So who knows what episode 5 is going to hold, but yeah, it just... I will say this as well. Episode 4 has probably some of the best green screen I've ever seen since, like, Back to the Future 2. Like, where you're having two of the same actors in the same scene and they're, like, hugging each other and doing whatever. It just looked flawless. Like, you couldn't tell. And the scene I'm referring to in Back to the Future is where Marty's climbing on the, like, stage thing in the background and then he's performing in the foreground. Yeah, that was really fun, and I'm really enjoying just, like, Steven and Mark being two completely separate, like, entities in the same room. That's really fun. So, it'd be nice if the third personality got let out and he joins them as well. That'd be quite fun.
He's gonna come out of his cage and he's just gonna stab them over the stomach.
Yeah, say it's coming out. He's not gonna be.
I don't think he's gonna be playing nice with anyone.
No, definitely not. It was interesting that, like, everyone we've met over this, like, series was in that place with Mark. Like, just from, like, the random statue guy, like, that performance guy at the start, like, all in gold. He was the guy giving out, like, the bingo and stuff. There was the Marvel Legends Moon Knight figure that was in this episode.
The best cameo, period.
Best cameo. I should mention also the old guy that was giving out the bingo numbers. He is supposed to be the same guy that was playing the gold statue that Steven was talking to episode 2, but also it's a reference to a character from the Moon Knight comics named Crawley.
Ooh, interesting.
Crawley was a kind of a right-hand man to, kind of right-hand man. He gave info to Jake Lockley on the streets of New York about, like, crime activity or, like, just stuff that's going on. So I thought that was cool. And guess what? Crawley was also in that same mental institute that the comic was, this part of the scene of the show was based off. So
such a fascinating, like, idea and stuff. Like, it's so...
I believe the guards are also named after two guards in the comic run.
Yep, they are. It's awesome. It's so cool. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it was really... You kind of get, like, the idea that it's not real when Mark's running down the hallway and the lights are, like, swaying as if he's on a ship. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
and then also, you know, when
everything
Steven's
else
there.
Yeah.
And then the hippopotamus woman.
Yeah, that too. But, yeah, it was very good. We also got a scene where Khonshu is taking to his, like, supposed, like, prison or whatever resting place, and there's loads of other gods captured around him. So I'm curious to know if when Khonshu is released, he's going to be mischievous and release them just to fuck the other gods off. That'd be really fun to see other gods as well.
I think in the end credit scene there is one of those little statues of the hippopotamus goddess. So this is probably where they all go.
Yeah, which is weird because, like I say, she's not... I wouldn't say she's like an evil god or anything. There's definitely worse ones out there.
No, but it kind of seems like the pantheon that remains has been kind of like stick in the mud, uptight jerks, and has just been imprisoning anyone for anything.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I could see that. So I guess we should go to final ratings now. Aiden, would you like to go first? I can't remember what you rated. Oh no, you weren't on for episode 3, were you? Do you want to give your quick thoughts on that?
I love that one as well. I would give that a 9. I'd give this a 9. I'd give them all 9s. So, and then if episodes 5 or 6 are going to be like way more mind blowing than this one has, I would give it a 10. Yeah. So, yeah.
I gave episode 3 a 10. I'm going to give this one an 8.5. The only thing that brought it down for me was just it's handled well enough in this show, but I hate the cliche of, like, guy moving in on other guy's wife. even if they're in the same body. So that brought it down for me a little bit, just because I kind of rolled my eyes at that. But
I didn't
still a
mind
great
that
episode.
very much, to be fair. I thought it was quite comedic how Mark uses the body to fucking uppercut Steven. I thought that was quite funny. And like him threatening Steven, saying I'll throw us both off a cliff. Like, that's quite good.
Yeah, like I said, it's handled well. It's still an 8.5.
Yeah.
But I just could do without that cliche.
Aiden, are you going with the 9?
I'm going with a 9.
I'm at a confident 8.7.
Okay.
You and your fucking 0.7s. Just go 0.5 or go all the way.
No! I'm
interested by the 7. Why the 7, actually?
Yeah, what
right?
brings it down 3 points for you to not go to a 9? Or 2 points to not go to a fucking 0.5?
Yeah.
Right, okay, I'll stick with 9 then.
Alright then, there you go.
I'm trying to think, have I given any episodes a 9 yet?
Yeah, you have. And you also gave one a 9.7.
Yeah, so shut up. I'm giving it an 8.7.
I said the same thing last time.
8.8. 8.7, that's what I'm going with.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that was our review of Moon Knight episode 4. So for our last segment, we always do this. Any new figures? Aiden's got quite a few. Tyler, I don't think you've bought anything, have you?
No, I have not.
You've done some Bricklink orders, though.
I just ordered some pieces to finish off rebuilding Metalbeard and Wildstyle's getaway bike. And then I also did another Bricklink order to get a little flashlight minifigure of Chase McCain. And along with that, I ordered the red rock monster.
I love Chase. I got some new figures today. I went out shopping, didn't know what I was going to find, but first stop was the Target. I ended up finding the Spartan Collection Yuri figure.
Your Roy.
My what?
Your Roy.
Your Roy. He's great, fantastic, great sculpt, looks amazing. Then I found Clayface, DC Multiverse Clayface. Now, normally, I don't get DC Multiverse figures. I think most of them are pretty poo. But my good friend...
This one's literal poo.
Yeah, literal poo. Poo head. Braden was looking for Clayface. So I asked him, I said, did you order him or no? He said no. So I said, all right, I'm going to get him for you. And I went ahead and bought him. He's huge. The box is massive. Really doesn't have to be that big, but the figure looks decent. I watched a review of it. If I got him, I would have probably got him on clearance. I paid full price for him, but it's going to be cheaper. If Braden was going to get it for himself, it would have been more expensive. But so I got that, and then I went to a couple of stores, didn't really see much, and then I went to GameStop at my local mall, and they had the 20 years anniversary Marvel Legends Captain America figure. When they put out this figure, I was pissed because now I had to get. So I already had the Alex Ross.
You have to get yet another Captain America.
Yeah, I had to get another Captain America begrudgingly, but I saw the figure at stores because I was already thinking about getting it. I was like, I'm going to pass on this when I first saw it. Now I've seen it more, and then I saw it in person today. I was like, all right, I'm buying this. So I bought it. It was around $30, a little more than what I would want to pay for, but I'm just messing with it for a little bit, and the accessories and everything that it includes is just absolutely amazing. And I hope to God this is the last Cap figure I have to get, comic Cap figure, but Tyler mentioned that they might make this figure pinless, and that's going to take me off. But honestly, I don't know. He doesn't have that issue like a Spider-Man figure does where he has the red and blue clash in different parts of his body.
True, exactly.
Well, I mean, they'll probably make him pinless, and then with a new version of the shield without the holes or something.
Well, I'm keeping the one with the holes, all right? I'm going to have a holy shield, all right?
Swiss Shield.
Swiss Shield. Yeah, I'm
being
just
shot by vibranium, man. That's why. Oh.
Yeah, man. I'm just immensely impressed by this figure. He might be on my new top 10 for this year. I can't wait to do a top 10.
Yeah, I can't wait for that those lists this year as well. I've already got one of my top 10 figures.
So it's a great Cap figure. Cap is up there for one of my favorites, and now it's like something like this where I get it. That's why I love getting these figures, because sometimes they're captured so well. It feels like a celebration of the character in one role. Yeah. So, and this is it. So yeah, here's my Cap renewal. That's all I got. It's great. I expect to find everything like I did, but it's been a very successful day for figures.
Sounds good. So my first thing that I got isn't a figure, it's actually a camera. I needed a camera for quite some time, and I got a DLSR Canon ESO 2000D. Great camera, it's a great beginner's photography sort of thing, and it's something I'm getting into. I know this isn't figure related, but I did buy a figure. Just want to say I'm doing photography now, and I do have a photography Instagram. If you want to have a look at some nice flowers, I guess, and Lego, with a macro lens and stuff. So the user is Laytons_photography_, and that's on Instagram. And then the figure I got, nothing special, but I kind of really, really needed this in my life, even though I've already got this, this figure more or less 4 times, or 5 in total. It is the Star Wars Black Series Jetta Patrol Stormtrooper. Listen, the figure itself is amazing. I absolutely love it. And just the fact that I've bought 5 of the same figure more or less, just with 3. At this point 6 actually, because I've just ordered another one. So in total, I've had 4 clean white Stormtroopers. I've got this one, which has a backpack, more or less, where he can blast his tunes from. And he has a little shoulder pauldron, and that's the only difference. And he comes with a bigger rifle instead of the E11. And then the artillery and incinerator trooper, which is just ketchup and mustard, as stormtroopers. So, yeah, really fun figure. Was after this one really badly for some odd reason. I have this infatuation with any new releases of this new mold. It's very unhealthy. At this point, my collection should just be all them, just multiple buys of them. I'm getting really bad with it, to be fair, but I am stopping, as he says this, as he's going to buy yet another one of them sometime this week. Just to finish off his 5-man squad, which is there's no need for it really, but yeah. So that is that. Definitely a figure worth checking out, I guess, if you don't have that body. And you can remove the pauldron if you just heat up the head. You can just take it off. It just comes off the body, and then you've got a standard normal trooper. So, apart from the fact that the lenses are green, which is accurate to Rogue One, and Return the Jedi, but Empire and A New Hope, they have the black lenses. So yeah, that's it for this episode. We've got another episode hopefully coming out on Wednesday, when episode 5 of Moon Knight dropped. It's probably going to be a shorter episode because there might not be as much news, which on our end, thank God for that, because Hasbro, you need to chill. There's no need for how much you put out. So yeah, that should be nice, just talking about the episode and whatnot. And yeah, so
of our abundance.
Yeah, do you want to say anything before we head off?
No, I had a lot of fun talking about what we talked about today, and yeah, thanks for. I'm happy to be on again.
Yeah, I'm excited for Moon Knight next week. Glad to not have to deal with Halo anymore, and yeah, happy to be on.
So if you don't mind, please go over to Spotify and give our podcast a little rate and maybe a follow if you're feeling generous. The rating thing will massively help us in the long run get elsewhere on Spotify. And please, if you want, go and follow us on Instagram. We've all got our own Instagram accounts, but the podcast has its own Instagram as well, called the All Things Geek podcast over on Instagram, where we post updates and stuff like that. So yeah, that's bye from me, and these other two will
salute.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Till next time.
Have a nice day.